The Qatar MotoGP is heating up again, not only because of the fierce action on the track, but also because of an old statement that has resurfaced. Andrea Dovizioso, Marc Marquez's former fierce rival, once made a statement that was considered crazy at the time, but now everyone's eyes are wide open to see how his words are slowly becoming reality. What did Dovizioso say to Marquez at the Qatar MotoGP? Let's discuss it. In a race full of drama and excitement under the night lights of the Lusail International Circuit, Marc Marquez once again showed why he is still one of the smartest and most dangerous riders on the MotoGP circuit. This brilliant victory at the 2025 Qatar Grand Prix was not just about speed, but also about strategy, composure, and a deep understanding of the dynamics of the race. When all the attention was on Francesco Bagnaia aka Pico, who was explosive from the start of the race, Marc Marquez chose to play quietly. He started the race calmly, conserving tires, keeping his rhythm and letting his rivals fight hard at the front. Many thought Marquez was in trouble when he was overtaken by Morbidelli, Vinales, and even his own teammate Bagnaia. But who would have thought that it was all part of a big plan? It was only in the last 5 laps that the baby alien started to rev his bike. One by one his rivals began to run out of grip due to his aggressiveness at the start of the race, and that was when Marquez began to attack. When Pico overtook me, I said to myself, "Okay, now my race really starts," said Marquez in his post-race interview. The result? He overtook Bagnaia and Vinales again with precision maneuvers and was not caught until he crossed the line first. The race in Qatar this time was truly a tough mental and technical test. Not only did Marquez have to deal with Bagnaia, who was aggressive from the 11th position, but he was also under pressure from his younger brother Alex Marquez, Franco Morbidelli and Maverick Vinales, who was leading the race in the middle of the race. It was a close battle between Marquez and the top 4 riders. Overtaking, late braking in the corner and a small incident with Alex Marquez at the beginning of the lap created extraordinary drama. But in the midst of the chaos, Marc remained calm. He seemed to read every move of his opponent and knew exactly when to act. Finale had finished second, but a post-race penalty dropped his position and Bagnaia moved up to second, followed by Morbidelli, who completed the 3rd podium. Marquez stood alone at the top, sealing a very important victory for him, his first win at Lusail since 2014. Interestingly, Marc Marquez's sensational victory in Qatar was apparently predicted by someone who knows him very well on the track, Andrea Dovizioso. The former Ducati rider is not just any observer, but one of Marquez's fiercest rivals in modern MotoGP history. Dovi, who was involved in an epic duel with Marquez at the Lusail circuit in the 2018 and 2019 seasons, seems to have a keen intuition about the baby alien's return to dominance. "I'm not surprised at all," said Dovizioso in a post-race interview. "This is the Marc I know. His style has always been like this. He reads the race like a chess game. He knows exactly when to attack, when to defend, and above all he knows how to make his opponents think twice before he makes a move." Dovizioso added that Marquez is not only technically fast, but also very strong in the psychological aspect of racing. When you see Marc in 3rd or 4th place at the beginning of the race, it doesn't mean he's struggling. It's part of his plan. He's patient, he's watching, he's waiting for a gap, and then suddenly, bam! He attacks with incredible precision. A lot of young riders still don't understand how to think like that. According to Dovizioso, what happened in Qatar was proof that Marquez is not finished yet. Even after a long period of injury, team changes, and an uncertain future, Marc is still Marc, a figure capable of changing the course of a race with a single move. He's not just a fast rider. He's an intelligent rider. And that's a lot scarier. Interestingly, it was not only the spectators and on-track rivals who were confused by Marc Marquez's extraordinary action in Qatar, but even the Ducati team's top brass were fooled. Ducati course manager Gigi Dall'Igna openly admitted that he had misjudged the course of Marquez's race. When Marquez lost several positions early in the race, Gigi thought the rider was in trouble, either due to technical problems or suboptimal performance. But as the race progressed, it became clear that Marquez was playing a high-level strategy that no one was aware of. Gigi finally realized that Marquez was not defending, he was waiting for the right moment to attack. And when the opportunity came, he did so with incredible precision, exploiting every gap, every mistake of his opponent in a way that only a true champion can. Marquez is like playing poker on the track. He keeps his cards close to his chest, catching everyone off guard. And when everyone starts to run out of energy and concentration, he shows his best hand, said Gigi in a post-race interview with a mixture of awe and surprise. The strategy was not only effective, but also proved that Marquez still has a sharp racing instinct and a championship mentality that has not faded in the slightest. Even top engineers and analysts like Gigi were unable to read the legend's game until it was too late. Marc Marquez not only shone in the main race, but also in the sprint race. As soon as the lights went out, Marquez took off like a bullet, controlling the track mercilessly from the first corner. The Qatar sprint race, which is usually full of drama and surprises, turned into a show of strength for Marquez, who performed flawlessly. He completely dominated from start to finish, not giving an inch to his opponents. Alex Marquez and Franco Morbidelli, who finished second and third respectively, could only watch from a distance and never really threaten the 8-time world champion's advantage. In fact, Marquez only posted the third fastest time in practice, which made many people doubt his dominance. But any doubts were dispelled in qualifying. There he once again showed his quality as an elite rider by convincingly taking pole position. His signature style, tactical, aggressive and accurate, emerged at crucial moments, proving that Marquez is not finished and is in fact on the rise. This victory felt all the more emotional and meaningful as it came just 2 weeks after the terrible incident that Marc Marquez suffered at the American GP. At that time he crashed hard and there were doubts that he would be able to compete in the near future. Many observers, even his loyal fans, feared that his mentality and confidence would be shaken. Injuries, public pressure, and the shadow of the past had dogged his progress. But Marquez proved that he was no ordinary rider. Not only did he return to the track, he returned with even more strength, determination, and passion than before. It was as if the crash was not just a test, but a turning point that reignited the fire within him. The pain and doubt that had plagued him became fuel to rise again. He did not just return, he went all out, with a determination to overcome all obstacles and silence all doubts. The result? An extraordinary victory that not only scored 25 important points, but also put him firmly at the top of the MotoGP standings with a total of 123 points. Behind him is his younger brother Alex Marquez with 106 points, while defending champion Francesco Bagnaia is still chasing with 97 points. "This is probably the most important weekend of my season," said Marquez with a determined look in his eyes when interviewed after the race. "This track is not really my favorite. There are a lot of corners that don't suit my riding style, but my team and I have worked really hard since Friday. We analyzed the data, tried different settings, and kept adapting. I'm happy to make up for my mistakes in America and prove once again that I still deserve to be at the front." Marquez's victory in Qatar was no ordinary win. It was a bold statement that in MotoGP speed is not the only key to success. Marquez showed the world that a combination of racing intelligence, solid strategy, and a steely mentality can beat anyone, even those who are technically faster. He read every situation on the track with incredible composure, taking calculated risks and setting the pace of the race like a maestro. So, in this era of increasingly sophisticated and fast racing, will tactical intelligence be the main weapon of the riders of the future? Share your thoughts below.